A huge shout out to the overthinkers.
An overthinker. He watches the show.
To the overthinkers, shout out Bafana.
All about Faith, this is Parker, yeah. Thank you, overthinkers.
Keep inspiring the next generation.
Shout out to the overthinkers. Thando kuphela. Much love.
To my overthinkers, mamela ubuchopho ngeke buphume buyakhula nizinja nikhokho yazini as overthink siya overachieve.
I'm stealing that. I've stolen that one. I've stolen it.
Coach Shorty, as overthinking is overachiever. Welcome everybody to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is George Mokwena. I am your host, and this, of course, is a place where we absolutely love South African football. We love African football. And then, of course, every now and then we go overseas. Now, this weekend gave us a chance to do both of those things. So we are going to get into the matches that we're going to speak about. It is a Monday show. For those who don't know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, that is when the show is on at 7 p.m. If you want to watch any of the shows back, the live shows, they are available on YouTube in full. Just search Overthinking Football Show, and you'll have access to all of the videos as well as my own content. Guys, I dropped an interview. The Legends interviews continue, and this time I got the privilege to speak to an analyst, a commentator, a Banyana legend, over 100 caps. Amanda Lemini sat down with me, and Utoki sat down with me, and we had a very great conversation, which is now out on YouTube. So please, when you're done here, go on over there and watch it and tell me what you guys think about the legend that I brought in. Guys, just tell me there in the comments if my mic is fine. Michelle, how are you? Okay. So remember, it's a very interactive show. You're able to jump in and speak to me. You'll see over here on YouTube. Let me just show you. You see over here, you've got the time. That timer is 25 minutes. There's going to be 4 panels of 25 minutes. 5 people in each panel are going to get 5 minutes to speak to me. Please try and make it 2 or 3 minutes so that I can speak to you and ask you some questions based on what you said. But everybody's going to get 5 minutes. We're going to do it for 2 hours. The first 30 minutes is going to be Pirates. We're honoring a fixture, as Pirates has been honoring fixtures as well. We're honoring the fixture. Pirates took on AmaZulu and they drew 1-1. And then, of course, Chiefs took on Polokwane City at FNB. They drew 0-0. And then we're going to end off. I'm going to give an hour to Mamelodi Sundowns so we can speak about the first leg of the CAF Champions League final. So let's get straight into it. We're going to start off with AmaZulu versus Pirates. Mapagania, kupaliska ipitla. I know that we're hiding, and I know that the season is over and you're playing games in hand that don't mean anything. Mara kupalikene, 30 minutes in, we're going to do Pirates, 30 minutes Kaizer Chiefs, 1 hour, we're going to give it to Mamelodi Sundowns for the game versus Pyramids. Now, AmaZulu and Pirates played to a 1-1 draw. Goal scored by Tito, an on goal in the 66th minute, and then Silepe in the 77th. Then, of course, in terms of stats, AmaZulu had 8 shots, 4 on target. Orlando Pirates had 11 shots, 3 on target. They had 67% of the possession versus AmaZulu's 33. They completed 557 passes versus the 279. Yeah, AmaZulu. AmaZulu had no big chances, and also they finished none. Pirates scored the own goal. And then, of course, Pirates had 1 big chance, and they missed that one. So, guys, now we're going to go to Chiefs, guys. We're going to go Pirates 30 minutes, Chiefs 30 minutes, Sundowns hour. Mapagania, I'm going to give you a chance to jump in. I see Laipita Luna, hey, Luna Snacks, man. The whole season I was hearing about Pirates. I was talking about Pirates. Now I'm the only one. I can't give favor Pirates. So let me start off with Pirates. Feel free to jump in. Let me see what's going to happen. If I don't get people, I'm going to jump straight to Chiefs, and then we're going to end off with Mamelodi Sundowns. Bongs, welcome to the show. How are you?
Yes, OT. Yes, champ.
How are you, champ?
No, I'm okay.
Champ.
I'm okay.
Kariman,
as long as I'm going to CAF. As long as I'm going to CAF, I cannot have a top 18.
Oh, Mara, the neighbors don't want to jump in and speak, but it's fine. Bongs, tell me about this game. Pirates, it still feels like, man, they are honoring fixtures. It seems like the season is done. How do you feel about this game?
Well, this game was an audition for Mandla Niggas. So
Okay.
mandla ngikazi for na ofite audition it la. Cause the way abapalang ka teng, he can never ever see himself as coach at Orlando Pirates in his dear life again.
Yeah.
Style sa sebapalang doesn't even fit Orlando Pirates.
Yeah.
Jose Riviero had a plan. Mandla Ngikazi had to learn from Riviero. He failed to learn. It's just like Kompela, Hakanka Sundowns. It's just going to be a total failure. That is
Yeah.
why most of the teams about these South African coaches. Mandla Ngikazi is an example of icon. Pirates is too big for him. Rather, Tamalo Kucha, bo Supersport, bo Captain Space. He's not fit for Orlando Pirates.
Marabongs, aren't we being a little bit unfair, man? Kaubani, I mean, I know Mandla Ngigazi were saying it's his audition, but auditioner, that's already player that are maybe out of it mentally. The games are over. It's hard to motivate. To coach Zamalek in the middle, the Shabule Kiki pyramids. Isn't this man an unwinnable situation for him or Akene Honajwano?
Well, as a coach, even if the game is in a defeated, there's nothing to play for. At least there are still points to Kadibapaland to finish. 30 points it's better. To prove her no, at least you were trying to fight Sundowns and you at least managed to cut the deficit by
Yeah.
a certain number of points. Rather than just finishing the league, you 16 points. 9 points in a you to sit at least in Yano Ketila Kabama 8 for it. Even Kalwana more harder next season. Get a feta 18 Kezame at least Lava can through like a bunch like Kabama 3 or 2 next time.
Maraba, okay, Bongs, next season, what do you think Pirates should do? Because last time round, Bankile, Coach Ngigazi Barino, it's really Fadlu, by Tswara for a season, got to the CAF conference final before Hokena Jose. Do you think that Pirates are going to do something similar? Or do you think that Batlo Kenya coach Omocha? And what do you think that coach's big troubles are going to be here?
Well, first of all, Pirates is like an experienced coach. Mandangikazi can now do an assist, but they really need an experienced coach. And even if buyer marketing, but until this time, Baska Reka fail. Baraka Batuvalin show for this time, these are the players that can make them fight Mamelodi Sundowns. Because if Sundowns are in such it was a good player, and you can never ever fight Mamelodi Sundowns because Banta Chele, they are big spenders. Bakataka player cost 63 million, Niboma 60 million, and the player delivers. When on Tonana, we get a Barcelona like Pirates to develop. On another a Yamali mo, Maroon Titemo for King score 5 goals. Yet Yamali and Nakakwana score 17. So Pirates need to start being realistic. Developing only doesn't help. Developing and buying players has to go hand in hand for them who are no challenger Sundowns.
But then can I ask you, Bongs, for the last minute here, is it a money issue? Is it a money issue or is it a mentality issue? Because all season long we've been saying, we're Pirates, IG, we get a team that play better than them. Ijiwa because games like this where they just don't show up. How do you fix that as a coach? Do you think that they can fix it? Do you think that a coach can fix it after Jose Zamili after 3 years?
Yeah, a coach can fix it if they get the right coach.
Okay.
I'm not saying the coach is overseas. Even a South African coach can do it. If maybe someone like Pitso can motivate them or no, they can do it. They just need to buy the right players and they should get the right coach and the right coach can drive them to success.
Okay, Bongs. I'm going to jump in for time. Gary, welcome to the show. How are you? Mangimnandi, Gary. Amazulu 1-1, dead rubber game. Yazi, honorama fixture. How did you feel about this game?
Motivation, Priam.
Yeah.
Just because the happy, I'm a medal, Hambile, I'm a player that just playing cow. And I want to add to the previous guy by Akruma Manje. Look, now to know experience and understanding. because I mean we can celebrate with the Pirates for the past 3 seasons. Ayenzanga next, awinanga league. Like it's not the coach, it's the management.
Okay.
And what you mentioned very well, Mr. OT, Uguti Inyugu Prayam, money that's been put in the team,
Yeah.
that's been invested in the team. I mean, I will tell you now, no team, I believe, makes money out of football. Yeah, no team makes money out of football. I mean, Al Nasir, but rich born, but does the team make money? No. Man United, no. Madrid, no. You give players that are worth $180 million. Win a Malin, in Europe, win a E-League or Champions League. It's not even close. So no team makes money with football. It's a matter of them washing money. That's my opinion. But let's leave that. We'll bet to Ebola. The Sundowns will be hard to catch until the likes of Kaizer Chiefs, Pirates, splash money. They have to. And these guys, Banama sponsors, that have given them almost $1 billion. Why bang a player? Why bang a team? It's their choice. Don't fight Sundowns because they're doing it. Next season, Sundowns gonna win it again next season. Number 9. They must fight for them not to win number 10. Because Sundowns is far ahead. You see the players they've brought in now. As a player that actually were built last season, but adapted after change of coaches. And then from there onwards, they want to win the league. Manje baya jela, and there's new players coming in. Oh, there's one player I want to come back to Sundowns. Ngiyathandaza ngimthandazele ngimcela umntana kaNkulunkulu sibombule mfethu akabuye lapha ekhaya.
But can I yeah.
Chiefs angayitshintsha loya. Angaya ku Chiefs, uyoshintsha Chiefs. I know for a fact. Umbule ngiyamncanywa. He's my favorite player. If bamyekela angaya ku Chiefs, Chiefs izovuka. Mara ngicela ngaye. Ngawo Chiefs angifave Sundowns.
Mara, can I ask you? I want to ask you. You're speaking about splashing the cash. Do you trust Pirates and Chiefs to splash the cash? Because Pirates splashed the cash, and Chilbeto went back home halfway through the season. We look at the monies that Kaizer Chiefs have spent. I mean, 8 players have come in for Kaizer Chiefs this season. That is also money spent. Do you think that these teams need to spend more money, or are there other things? Let's stick to Pirates. Are there other things at Pirates that need to be fixed in order for this to work out?
A strong team manager. Pega uFlembe uqosha uRulani. Narana Praya. A strong team manager with balls. Who doesn't? You're not good enough for us. We want to do better. So you need a strong team manager. Or a coach or my players. Or a management. Flemingbeck owns Sundowns. Uhlopi, yes, our chairman. Much respect to him. Mara kuma Flemingbeck. Uyeva tayikhona. Cabanga kuhambe uKhompela wabuya. Why abuyile? Kuhambe uRayden uManqobo. There was a level of philosophy that they are facing, that they want to achieve. So those two teams, Pirates and Chiefs, they need a strong team manager that will make decisions. And telemanagement doesn't wait. I'm a team manager. I run this thing.
Yeah.
That's what's different in Sundowns now. I am a team.
But then for the last minute, could you argue that Pirates had that? Prasten, we complained. Mbele, we complained. They didn't win.
No, Prasten
they already had that.
Prasten was different. This is always going to be a Sundowns, that guy. Ulele so much respected. Tatazela lapa ebenchini. I grew up watching him when my dad was playing for ACs. Tatazela lapa. At Sundowns, he's always been a Sundowns. So he never had good intentions. Let's not lie about that. Thanks, guys.
Coach Picasso, welcome to the show. How are you? What's going on, my brother?
Yeah, okay, Rio.
Yeah. To Prasten was never the guy double agent, but it's fine. Coach Picasso, welcome. Tell me about this game. 1-1 Amazulu. How do you feel about it and where Pirates is?
I mean, to be honest, I wanted the Pyramids and Sundowns slot.
Guys, later on, I'm giving it an hour.
Yeah, then I'll come back on.
Okay, it's fine.
Mara,
No, it's
Mara,
okay. Yeah.
if you can bring me back on after for that, it's fine. I can give you my 2 cents for now.
No, give me your 2 cents. I'll bring you back in.
Yeah, no. In regards to the game, it's dead rubber matches, to be honest. As much as there's not in football, as a coach, you do not obviously tell the players, but you feel the energy,
Yeah.
In a sense that I've got the privilege to know some of the players, but friendly. It's discouraging because from a higher Champions League to the Nedbank final to losing a coach, psychologically it messes you up. It's not just a matter of, and you can't say the players are being unprofessional. They are human beings at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You can't compete for such high stakes, and then automatically when those things are gone, you still keep the same motivation. So I think it's just for them to wrap it up. Is it tomorrow or Wednesday? On Wednesday.
Yeah, I think it's Wednesday.
Against Super Sport. Yeah, it's just for them to wrap it up, and then the entire team already, of course, but Pirates is a big institution. I'm sure they are already planning for
Precisely.
for the preseason and next season. So yeah.
But then can I ask you, as a coach, you spoke about something very interesting about the psychology of these players, especially now. Wouldn't this be the best time to practice these psychological things? Because I feel as though Pirates gets killed by, they don't show up for some games. I used to joke and say it's Wednesday night, go cheaper. For some reason, Pirates just won't play. It's not that cheaper will be playing better. Isn't this the best time to practice this? Number one, and then number two, how do you get them psychologically there next season? How do you make sure that they focus for every game?
No, I think, Georginio, if you look at the factors of performance, the factors of performance, one is psychological, tactical, nutrition, all those factors, they play a role.
Yeah.
But I think right now, as I said, they are suffering a lot from the psychological part. So for them, there's nothing you can do, trust me. At the end of the day, before these people are footballers, they are human beings. And they are allowed to be disappointed. They are allowed to, all you can ask of them is that give me what you can give me. If your 100% today is 20%, give me that. Of course, someone mentioned they can still get points and then drop the number of points, because I think last season was 21 or 22, something like that. Difference between them and Sundowns. Okay, cool. That can be a motivating factor. It's a valid factor that you can bring across to the players. Also, I think games like these as well, it's also a bit dead rubber in a sense. Players know that this guy is not going to be our coach next season.
Yeah.
So whatever tactical elements or a structure that he brings or some change or some tweak, it's not bad. It's just it's a temporary thing, you know. So that's also another thing. But in all fairness to the players, I mean, they won against Super Sport. They got a point in the past game. They'll probably win on Wednesday. In all fairness, the results haven't been bad, but the performances have been a bit sluggish. And it's not, but it's expected, to be honest.
I want 30 seconds. Next season, how important is money as a motivator? How important is competition as a motivator? Should Pirates be going out to go look for players? They're going to stack that team and maybe that can motivate them?
In terms of money, the previous
Yeah.
who it's a no team makes money in football. That's not true. I think we all know that that's not true. Yes, in the PSL, probably like 3 teams are making money: Chiefs, Pirates, and Sundowns doesn't make money. It's probably Chiefs and Pirates. But to answer is that I think Pirates must just it should be a matter of quality over quantity. maybe lessen the numbers, but bring in quality to compensate for the salary structure that they might have, So I think they should bring in quality. These especially in offensive positions. I think at the back they are somewhat sorted, but from the midfield going up, they do need quality. That's for sure.
For time, I'm going to jump in. Thank you, Coach Picasso. I'll bring you back later. Let me bring in Sentabo. Sentabo. How are you?
OT.
Hi, man. How are you doing?
I'm good, my man. How are you?
I'm here. I want to talk about Pirates. I'm honoring a fixture. People seem to be over it. Tell me about this game. How do you feel about this game?
Yeah, I'm listening, daughter. Yeah, they are fighting. But anyway, everyone is interested in Sundowns. But then, my opinion on Pirates, once again, I'm going to say this: philosophy. Here, let's be honest. The South African players, that Tina, we love them. They are poor mentally.
Yeah.
Pirates, where it is, OT, it is the first time where Pirates has the opportunity to redeem itself, that they get points more than they have ever got the previous seasons. You get it? But if ever you're going to drop your head because you lost CAF, you lost Nedbank, whose fault is that?
Yeah.
Understand? Your coach was still there. So that has to, number one, show you Guti, Amajita Bona self, they have a poor mentality. Number two, if ever someone's going to say, no, they have to put in Fagima Luzobona. Come on, most of the players who are playing for Pirates now, they are coming from somewhere, which Pirates for them, it's a step high, bruh. So they must honor their contracts and they must honor the fixtures. And again, philosophy, if it's not honored or it's not right, then the disaster. Look, Vilakazi has had an opportunity before. What has he done? And what is he doing now that is different? I'm taller. So there is a problem of philosophy. It's either philosophy at Pirates, it's wrong, or else they have the right philosophy, but they have the wrong material. Why am I saying that? Let's look at the players that we are told Uguti Pirates has signed. Bruh, it's only one player that I rate to say, okay, Ntuli, we know you have been there, Stellenbosch. Stellenbosch has reached the final of MTN8. Stellenbosch has went to the semi-finals. You get me? They
won the calling knockout last year.
Yeah, and they would they still fought to be number 3 on the log. That shows you the mentality of the boy that is brought in is right, so that he can take Pirates somewhere else. But then these other players, what have they done that have been brought in? The one from Cheaper, the other one from Gallant. Like, what is it that their teams have done to prove these players are the right players to take Pirates further on? Unless otherwise they are still going to be like Abu Tito, they're still going to be like Abu Mbata, So the mentality of the guys, it's either it's very wrong or the philosophy. So the person who's buying these players, who are you buying the players for? Because you don't have a coach. So it's all messed up. So Pirates has to figure itself out philosophy-wise. Number two, if ever there is a good philosophy, as we have seen in the past, you have won, double treble. Bruh, fix yourself up, like as you are buying players. Know who is right for your philosophy. This is what Sundowns is doing. And aim higher. You cannot be Pirates and you are still aiming for the league while you have a star. You get me? Like, if ever your mentality is to fight for the league, then you have all the right to go to the moment Sundowns, it gaps you, it's gone. But if ever you are aiming higher, you know that you have to honor every fixture because you are building endurance, like a mentality that will do something else. So I hear the guys who have spoken. I disagree quite a lot because of mentality. As a former player myself, I know very well the fixtures that are remaining there. You are fighting for your contract first of all, because of even if the team has signed you for 3 years, bruh, they can chase you out the next season. So we have to see effort. And lastly, I mean, Amazulu Pirates is always drawing with Amazulu. Whenever Pirates is dominating Amazulu, we know that Pirates is going to do something special that season. So it shows Uguti there is no progress with these guys. I'm going to say something controversial. Pirates supporters, they have a problem. They support useless players. And one useless player that I will call, it's Tito Masangani. You know what? The guy has figured out Pirate supporters out. You know what he does? Tito will waste our transition plays. Tito will waste our passes. Tito will. The moment our supporters, they will start to complain. Tito will perform one skill to spin the ball back, and then they clap and they call Tito. The guy in Fetu, you know what he does?
Yeah.
The boy in Kota would have
Very quickly,
performed
30
so
seconds.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah. He would have completed very brilliant. But this guy, he's a number 10 who's playing on the wing, closing down spaces for our wingers. Pirates will never perform as long as you have Mabasa, who is a lazy striker, and Maswanganyu, who is not an interconnecting number 10. So there I will stop. But the philosophy or the mentality, one of the two must be fixed.
I'm gonna have this conversation one of these days during the off season. But I wanna go to Pagden. Pagden, welcome to the show. Hi man, na ki win Nedbank ever since ke smile. Pagden.
Yeah.
Orinka came in Mazululi Pirates 1-1.
We go hopola team ya ka Sundowns.
Yeah. Oh, but how can I say Mara? Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Get like Sundowns. Okay, guys, so for time's sake, I think I'm going to move on to the next topic. The next topic, of course, is Kaizer Chiefs. We're going to do 30 minutes for Kaizer Chiefs, then we're going to do an hour for Sundowns. So please, if you're requesting, please make sure that you're requesting to come speak to me about Kaizer Chiefs and Polokwane. Please don't jump in for now, because then it messes up the order of things. Okay, all I wanted to say about Pirates is I will say this over and over and over and over and over again. Pirates is the most dangerous team in the country. If they get hot, there is no team that can put you under pressure like Pirates. But what did I say there? If they get hot. And the problem with Pirates is that they switch off at times. Pirates is not beaten by a team coming out and outplaying them. There's a handful of those games in a season where Pirates is completely outplayed, right? A handful. But the problem is, you get last season where Cape Town Spurs, bottom of the log, beat Pirates. It was their first 3 points of the season. You get a cold, wet day versus Makesi, they might lose. Cape Town City, they might lose. And it's not games where they were outplayed. It's games where, not games where they were outplayed. It's games where they just switched off. And I would have thought that this would be the best place right now to go, you know what, guys? Let's teach ourselves to take games seriously. These games mean nothing. Let's be honest. But for those players, Chiman manje, practicani manje, to say, okay, how do we show up for these games? How do I motivate the team through these times? How do I make sure that they don't switch off? Because the people you are chasing are not dangerous. They're not loud. They're not stylish. They're not all of those things. They just win. 20 minutes, the game is done, and they walk it. Win after 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 win. Masen vuga, ban kepil. And it's because whether it's Makesi, whether it's Pirates, whether it's Stellenbosch, whether it's whoever, Pyramids, they take the game seriously. And that is what Pirates needs to learn. That is what Pirates needs to learn. Gary, what I mean is very simply, if Pirates scores a goal, Escotini, particularly Bosaleng, if Pirates scores a goal, it could become 4-0 and it's pressure. You're down bad. You don't know what's going on. They're on top of you. Right? Like Escotini gets hot like no other stadium. What I always say about Sundowns is that they're silent killers. It's quiet. Death by 1,000 cuts. You don't feel it until you're dead. That's Sundowns. They're consistent. So it's the difference between getting shot with a shotgun, guy one, or getting stabbed 1,000 times while you are smiling, but you don't know which are getting stabbed and you die. Anyway, guys, please tap the screen, Kupalidi gift, man. We're going to move on to Kaizer Chiefs. Kaizer Chiefs, of course, played versus Polokwane City. It was a game where they needed to get 3 points in order to make it into top 8. It was very simple. Win, get your 3 points, you are in top 8. You get to play MTN 8 next year, and the only people that stood in their way was Polokwane City. When you look at the stats, 15 shots from Chiefs, 2 on target, 7 shots from Polokwane, 2 on target. Chiefs at 68% of the possession versus Polokwane's 32. Polokwane only completed 241 passes versus Chiefs' 535. And then, of course, Chiefs had 2 big chances and missed both of them, whereas Polokwane had 1 and missed. Now, I was in the stadium for this game. There's a point. There's a point in that game where Nabi is screaming at Solomons and he even falls down. But it felt like it was a game that was not important to those players. But let me hear from you guys. Prati, how are you?
Tizo, hello, champ. How are you?
Hello, champ.
I am good. I'm good, Oti.
Prati, kia game, man. Redadile Polokwane City. It was in our hands for top 8. Maratima, how you are nil-nil. How did you feel about this game?
Bra Oti, before Kabua Gaji, America Copa Holebo, Hagresizini, if they officially as a Sapatareton, Kaizer Chiefs Copa Holebo had the player as a Zeze, Marte, Mang, Horwin and Nedbank Cup. It was not easy, Bra Oti, Copa Balebo, Hakao, Ferra, Nabi, technical team, Horwin and a Kappa who break at 10 years. No Yana, Ribua Matata Arona, at least Renale Kappa, Bra Oti. As for top 8 bra OT, yes, I will say ke disappointed, but recently Pitso Mosimane ka ho ina Nedbank Cup, but ke disappointed bra OT because of nagana hore season e mo league bra OT one net. I don't know matsapane le bra OT, but season e one net it was bad season mo league. But in other hands, it was good season because of Rekono wina Nedbank Cup bra OT. But is because of Chiefs. This is time no Chiefs now. Badugamo Fati is either banker decision, and if Chiefs inka decision no yana trying to banker decision. If Chiefs banker decision Nabi tswelela le Kaizer Chiefs. Season e latelang tshwana gore be re bua ka gore we are building. We have to be top 3. Tshwanetse re go compete le Pirates, Sundowns. Re go top 3. Then if banka decision gore okay Nabi ra extend re kela Nabi di player because of Nabi ke ntho complain ka ona gore hana di players you bua le la gore if na thotse striker, if na na le striker e ka ba a le ko silong a le ko top 3. But potso ya ka it was Nabi was there ka January ha go sainwa Morris as a striker was there. But you na ke bile ka nna le suspicious gore Morris ba misa kae, but ke re go ngare mo fe benefit of doubt. But bra OT, if Chiefs batla go compete bra OT, Chiefs is a big team. Ke bona mongwe are top 5. No, Chiefs is a big team. Should be re compete league bra OT.
Mara Prati na ke batla go botsa man. Re nyatse gap because going from number 9 to number 3, hey, it's a very big gap. And now ka sheba king di nkinga tsa rona di ngata ko teaming di ngata. Ba tlo kgona go di lokisa in one off season, in one ka nako before the league phela ra chaisa now kicking ke May ra khutla August. Do you think that in that time ba tlo ya lokisitse all of these things gore ba be number 3?
If Brauti last time I kile mo ke gore le ka re Chiefs should create a system ya go betsa di small teams. Those teams that go top 3 tse bra OT a gona team e mo PSL di team tse like it was the top engwe ya ko number 80 beke tla ngwe bona ko number 2 go imbara ko number 3 ko like our competition it was Orlando Pirates and Sundowns ke only team tse na le competition tse dingwe tse go TS Galaxy bus Kukuni bra OT ka go bolelela it ko re ne le disaster bra OT ke fela gore Chiefs. It was up to Chiefs, so Chiefs already pointed to what. But if Nabi really want to continue with Kaizer Chiefs, Nabi tshwanetse a create a system ya gore season e latelang ke a go nka 6 points ko Stellenbosch ke a tseba o e tsere 6 points season e latelang ke a go nka 6 points ko Amazulu ko TS Galaxy ko di team tseo bra OT we can compete. I don't think gore Kaizer Chiefs e na le di team tse di mo TS Galaxy they've got better players than Kaizer, so it's up to Nabi and le system no yara bra OT tshwanetse ba dule fatshe gore which system e re tleng go e tlala season e latela because of team we build ka go wina o ka se build a team ka go lose bra OT.
Okay, but I'll put something very quickly, 30 seconds. Moko commenting by say we need to take it one game at a time. Coach how Utsuile, I know they need to play a specific type of football. Man, abakono khodlala ntwe ugly or you know defend and transition. How about you dlala ntwe tseo? What do you think of that? Do you think hore tshwantse I adlale a big footballer must he just take it simple? A win.
No.
How bua ka philosophy ya hae?
No bro team Nabi tshwanetse a bankanya Nabi go bua nnete o na le mathata ha re o batla go dira tshwanetse a fixe defending ya gagwe a fixe attacking ya gagwe bro because of if re tlo go bua gore no yana o batla go tshameka o batla mara still ko morago le gone bro re consider di goal tse dintsi ko bro no yana re tlhoka gore Nabi if is a good coach bra otis season e ratelang bua nnete bra otis wa bona season e ke mo qoletse ebile a zanga ka mo criticize ka season e ratelang bra otis ke expecta Nabi gore if he's a really good coach bra otis bo Barcelona e khale ba sokola ba khona go bona ba khona go bua team di khona go tswa ko top 7 di a go ina le bra otis
nako pratika kena. Let me bring in Dictator. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Revolutionary greetings, Mr. O.
Hey, banna. So it's Dictator. Dictator uphi man siyangena ku Pirates nami ngibe umcebo lapha or
no but you know these accounts are the one that we use at midnight. You guys must in that chat so
hey TikTok
yeah, I've been trying to get it in my account. It blocked me. I cannot even go to any live. I don't know what's the problem. So but I thought okay
bamtholile bazwile ukuthi ukhuluma indaba la estradeni ukutshelile ithi zokubiza Dictator Chiefs lil Polokwane uthini ngale game uthini ngesimo se-Kaizer Chiefs. I'm hearing people talking about number 3 next season. Abanye bathi everything's going to change. How do you look at this?
Firstly, let me just thank the people of KwaZulu-Natal, especially Mlas. When they saw when the Chiefs were down, people all over the country, left, right, and center, were attacking with Tito. They come up with a chance with Tito just to encourage him to do better. Even up until now, we are still going to do it. We are not doing to praise him now and then. The chance with Tito was created to support Utito whenever that was happening in him, especially even now. It's off-season, but still people are still attacking him for no reason. Mabasa was the leading goal scorer last season.
Marawa is could be Pirates, Maravili.
I was just correcting that statement. We will close ranks. We will close ranks. So no matter what happens, we will never allow that to happen. We will discuss it on our own family meeting. We will criticize our own players. We will never allow an opposition to tell us what must happen there in Emnyam. Nyabonga mtakaba bolelo thuba emncane. Asize emakhosini. Akukho okuningi okumele kutshintshe emakhosini. Mangiyibuka mina. Uma sibheka futhi nebhola abadlalela this season. They created even more chances than the Pirates. Kaizer Chiefs. The difference they didn't convert their chances. And their defense was a bit shaky or leaking because it was not even consistent if you look at it. And normally, you know, most great teams and a great performing team are building a solid defense. So if your defense normally will not be consistent now and then on each and every game, surely you will leak there and there. But normally, in any other day, Chiefs will have won of so many matches. You will watch so many Chiefs matches, you'll see the change that they created there. And that's why even now, pieces Motsepe when Uli Lepo was coming inside now, he tried to score those goals, even though he arrived like during the second stanza of the PSL. So I think Unabi must still stay. Give him enough quality material, maybe get one or two stable defenders that will be there consistently. We know Kaizer Chiefs to be the good producing in terms of goalkeeping department, but this season their goalkeeper let them down. And surely if they can just fix there, I think they can come back. Thanks God, uMaurice uhambile angazodibeka yaphi vele ayakwini vele yena.
Mara kubuza velile. Mina, I hear everybody saying the scoring and maybe the defense, but this is the same team. Angazi sign strikers zingakanani. How many strikers have come in? How many goalkeepers nontwaru khona lapha pensions sign this season? At defense sign abantu siletha abo Msimango saletha abo Ngcobo saletha abo. Hey, everybody. What's the problem? Ngoba it seems as though wonke lama player mawafike Chiefs baya bokora wherever you came from awusakori mawungena. What causes that? And yini concern yakhona lapho?
I think it goes back to the thing that was said by I think Coach Picasso in terms of the system that the team play. I think Kaizer Chiefs in most cases they just identify players, but they don't look at the system that they are playing, or maybe the system that the coach will implement. Like now, as we look even to Orlando Pirates, we are even buying players, but to coach us now, we don't even know what he will come up with. What type of system are those players going to implement the system or to be suitable for the coach's style? So if Kaizer Chiefs now can just try and get to know his system of Unabi and just identify the players according to what Unabi wants. Because he's the one who's going to coach, he's the one who set the line up, and he's the one who's going to have expectations from those players. But if you just buy players and those come ngithengisela uTeam Sukazi ngenkani ngoba uTeam Sukazi uyakhona ukuntu bawubhanela bese niyangigijima vela ngithengisela ama player thathe ngigijima
No Stan Matthews.
Bese ama player khona afika lapha aboze nje, but just try and just identify the players that will fit into the Kaizer Chiefs system. At least there's a structure right now. Uyabona ungasebenzi lapho, just get one in the middle field whereby ungarelieve ucele, because ucele you need to identify which role exactly that he must play there, because okwamanje nimenzisa umsebenzi omningi ngesikhathi esiyi-one, so animazi ngathi kumele enzeni. So nje that's another player that will be there because Ox has failed.
For time ngiyangena hey dictator sofuna ukuba u-Idi Amin lana eshowini yami.
Sothi ngiyangena kuye wonke amalava ayingeni le account yami.
Hayi awu funa ukudictator la
ngapha kule yepolitiki ye-account eshazi madoda.
Ungazodictator la mara for time itingene. Let me go to Prachomo.
Hi brother, how are you?
Hey man, hey Prachomo, I don't know how to feel. Mara nil Kaizer Chiefs. How do you feel about this game, the team, next season, where Chiefs is sitting, all of that? Welcome.
Yeah. I just hope everyone would understand where I'm trying to go with this. I just hope this was a script. I just hope this was a deal, to say, listen, you're a big club, come here. Obviously, you're not looking to win anything this year. You're building.
Yeah.
Fine. Build all you like, but this is what we're going to do. Whatever that is going to happen, we'll make sure that your team doesn't get relegated. You understand? You'll get one or two there, but from there, we're going to make money together. Games that we're supposed to win, you're going to lose, and then we'll give you so much, we'll take so much. Because it doesn't make sense to me if that's not the deal. What I've been watching the whole season has been giving me those vibes. You understand? I mean, it's not even difficult to want to buy a referee to make sure that Chiefs wins. Chiefs always put itself in a winning situation whenever they play, but at the end of the day, it doesn't happen. We could have easily got a penalty in that game and win that game 1-0.
Yeah.
You understand? It didn't happen. Other games, you go back, they allow the team to score us with an offside. They take us to be on an offside positions while we're not. You check most of our games, they've got a story to tell, to say, this must be a script that is behind it. I don't want to lie. I've been watching this very closely, and hence I'm saying, I just hope that was the deal. You understand? There is a deal like that. Because of Chiefs asinabhadeli ngabo, even if bangathi sikweleta bobani onene bayakhala laba khona, but still it doesn't advocate to what we're experiencing. I mean, if you remember that there was another life la I said we're going to end being league izophela so number 5. You understand? My numbers were agreeing to that. I mean, if Chiefs are winner those 2 games, we would be number 5 in top 8. We understand. And now one has to say how many people bought my story and how many people obviously ababetile ukuthi hayi nakanjani Chiefs win this. At the end of the day, it doesn't win. And somebody benefits.
Yeah.
Because of, I think you can check all the odds in this betting thing. The only team that will give you numbers is Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah.
Hence, I'm saying, I just hope that's the script. Because of, I watched Nabi a game last Saturday. You know, you could tell Momoris Guti, the body language was, I know for the fact, there was no way I'll have this player in my team. You understand? But you see, they are allowed to happen. Certain players are not available.
I actually want to ask you on that point. Say it is the script. Do you think that Nebi is aware? Because he's acting as someone I don't think that is aware of what's happening here. If it is that way.
Yeah, I tell you, it wouldn't be a smart thing to make him aware. Because of you won't get the best of him. You must keep him in the dark. You understand? So you can see how best he can push these boys. As much as you know what is going to happen at the end of the game. You understand? Because of we're a big team, now management to me. I know you're strong enough. But should it start to complain my results because of the officiating?
Yeah.
Way things would change.
Yeah.
We understand because of don't have a case. I mean, Pega game yesterday, but tell us how we lost. You understand? We know there was a clear penalty. You understand? But it was not given. You understand? I tell you, something is it's going on lap against Imali and we're not seeing it.
Okay.
That's my take.
No, Prachomo, thank you so much. I'm gonna write this down. I think I wanna have a conversation about this on another day, and I'm gonna. No, shape. I mustn't get into trouble.
Yeah, and since you've got time, since you've got time to do those things, go back to those games, highlight those games. You understand? Ama games last liwe. Now we could have easily walked in. You understand?
Okay.
Check all those things, my brother.
For time, I'm gonna jump in. Let me bring Udihete. Welcome to the show. How are you, my brother?
I'm okay. How are you, my brother?
But it's fine. Chiefs 0-0 Polokwane. How do you feel about the game? How do you feel about Thibs, where it's sitting right now?
Look, man, when I have these conversations with the people I chill around, I usually ask them, who in the Chiefs starting lineup or who in the Chiefs team would you take to those top 3 teams in the league now? Agakalang game, who would start a game there?
Yeah.
Who could walk in their starting 11? I'm talking about Sundowns, I'm talking about Pirates and Stellenbosch.
Yeah.
And if you look at it properly, I think we've got like 2 players who would compete to sit on the bench or even start. I'm talking about Rashun Twatley, who's been injured for a while now, and Ele. The rest, I don't think they can or they qualify to play for Kaizer Chiefs at a high level, week in, week out. I watched the Polokwane City game during the weekend. Fundo Vilakazi is occupying the pocket on the right between the center back and the left back. You know what Dove does? There's Martin Ox in front of him. Dove hits a long ball to Fundo Vilakazi. Fundo Vilakazi is how short. He's playing a long ball to him. Do you think that player has the IQ to play for Kaizer Chiefs at the highest level? So I think what we should do is keep Nabine, but bring in the quality players he's talking about. the players is asking for, because we can't be bringing players from our chicken in, from our to play for us now. We need these players he wants. Yeah, because I think he even spoke about it during the week now. He wants a specific brand of football. Yeah. So I don't think these players that are at Chiefs now can play that type of football. I think if we bring him,
No, go on. Sorry, yeah.
I think the perfect time to judge him is after he brings these players that he's talking about, because he brought the Nedbank Cup with these I don't want to say cows, but with these players he has now, but in a very ugly manner. You see, we didn't we are winning 2-1, but you are very nervous. You're not watching the TV. Yeah. Well,
Can I ask you? I wanted to ask you. Do you trust that Chiefs is number one capable of scouting these players, and then number two capable of bringing those players in, or is it a situation? Yeah.
I believe with the right mindset, if you want to do it, they can do it. But if for the past seasons, like for example, why did we sign Motsane from Raleigh? That shows you the mentality at Chiefs. I believe if we went and actually signed quality players, we could have actually been at the top now. But we go and sign mediocre, people.
That's why I'm asking, because I mean this season I believe it was 8 players that we signed this season, and those are all contracts that we're going to carry. Now we're going to carry on. So we've been signing and signing. We can go back to Bochiba Vairo. You can go back to Bo and Jabulo Ngobo, Bo Austin Dube. Yes. You can go back to all of these players that we've signed, even this year, Bontwari.
Yeah.
Are we hoping for a magic off season? Yeah. And is it realistic?
That's what, I don't think at the moment it's realistic. I think we're just hoping for the best.
Yeah.
I think now it's just a matter of hoping for the best. Because look now, let's just say Nabi goes, Nabi goes, he gets a club, he manages it in Africa. Are we expecting the new coach to make Abo Zita, Abo Dove, Abo Ntwari, Vuma? Are we expecting the new coach to turn them into suddenly world-class players? Never mind good, world-class, yes. Are we expecting, you see?
Yeah.
So that's my thing. I think bring the quality, judge him after we bring the quality. We want to see what can he do with the kind of players he wants,
Okay, no. For time, I'm going to jump in. I think Ongama just had a bit of an issue. Let me try to get him back. While I do that, guys, please request. Ongama is going to be the final speaker for the Kaizer Chiefs section. We're going to go into Sundowns. I'm going to give Sundowns an hour. Out of respect, we're going to give Sundowns an hour. So if you want to speak about Sundowns, please request right now. We're going to do an hour for Sundowns. That means 10 people are going to be able to jump in. Ongama, welcome. How are you? Oh, Ongam.
How are you?
I'm good, my brother. Man, champ, I'm good, champ, man. Champ.
You're great, my brother.
Aye, man, champ, I'm great. Tell me about... yeah, I can hear you. Tell me about this game. Chiefs, no, Pulukwani. How do you feel about Chiefs right now? How do you feel about Chiefs going into next season? Oh.
OT, it's the story of our season, and OT missed the opportunities, creation of a lot of chances. It's been like this in OT for the rest of the season. It's something that we've been looking at for the rest of the season. What I'm looking at when OT, I think this game, it's one of the games that we've been looking at for the rest of the season, from the start of the game of the season until now. It's something that we've been looking at when OT. No one can lie about what we have seen. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So what I would look at when we are going into the next season, I'm looking at the caliber of the players that are strong enough in mental strength. We are going into the big tournaments now, we need more than anything in what we are looking at, we need character in our team.
Yeah.
The first thing that we need to identify whenever, whoever that is coming in, we need character out here. For us to go into the next level, more than anything, you can be skillful, you can be anything that can come, but character needed. Someone that can carry the team and help the team. We don't need average players that can come and when he comes, he can just come and drop and then we can't see anything after that. Specifically, character, hunger, OT. We need hunger. Players that have hunger, hungry to win. That will not want to fail with this team. So we need that mentality of having utabo having ideas of having my people, having that thing of say, I want to do it for my people. Those people around are hungry for seeing this team to do better. So we need people with the right mentality, having a hunger to achieve more with the club. So I think those are the things that I want to see it in the next season when out with the new players that are coming in.
Can I ask you something? Is it that the players don't? Is it that the players don't have this thing, or is it that the environment at Kaizer Chiefs is maybe not? So it's not about having bad players, but maybe it's a bad environment. Maybe Chiefs needs to look at itself and say, if all of our players are losing confidence, how do we create a place and structure a place where these players don't lose confidence? How do we teach them how to be Chiefs players, or how do we have a standard? How much of this falls on the environment? Because I mean, we can't say now 10 years worth of players have all been bad. You know, I don't know, after that 10 years, hi guys, after a while you have to be honest. How much of this is the environment?
It is important when I think there's something that dictator spoke about Lendoga Utito and the motivation that the fans that they are doing in a regular basis to motivate their players, to drive their players. We understand when those environment for Kaizer Chiefs, Orlando Pirates, and Sundowns, they are demanding when
Yeah.
So as supporters, we put a regular pressure into players. I can't imagine how players like Aboranga were when the season was starting. They were banging goals. You can even remember a game mamelodi Sundowns. He dragged the ball, a beautiful ball from Ulendoga, Frosler, direct ball from Frosler, and they banged the goals. So I think we also contribute into the environmental factor that the team is in. If we can create as supporters an environment whereby we allow players, we know Marty sometimes he can flop as a player. Can we create an environment to lift the spirit of the players and make sure that we create champions within the squad? We create a mentality of the players that are around, a mentality whereby we encourage them more than the failures that they do, to create more and become better players of the better version of themselves when out.
But for 30 seconds, I want to ask you, aren't we living in a perfect world when we say that? It's an ideal world. Shouldn't the club, as Kaizer Chiefs, now say that, unfortunately, this is what the fans are like? Unfortunately. Now we have to figure out ways to make sure that we get them ready, or we protect them, or we do something, because I think wanting every Chiefs fan to change, or majority of Chiefs fans to change, is not going to happen now. So when does the club say, okay, this is the problem we have, we can't wait for them to get fine, we need to do something inside?
It is important to understand ukuthi ufuna nto ahlupha wena. Oh, okay, sorry uthi.
No stress, no stress.
Yeah. So I was speaking about ilendoka wena uthi it is important ukuthi abantwana bayahlupha uthi. I'm sorry.
I know.
It is important when to understand that psychologists, yes, psychologists when OT they can perform their functions. There are psychologists when OT with Kaizer Chiefs, Sundowns, and also in other clubs. There are psychologists, people that are monitoring the mental strength of the players. But there are environmental factors whereby psychologists can try their level best to help players, to motivate players, and also the coaches can help them. But there are factors within the team that can help the players, like Tina and OT to sing in the field of play, motivate players like Abo Ranga, motivate players. I'm explaining something for next season. Motivate players, sing chants that will make them feel better, knowing that I made a mistake. The boo factor, not applying into the field of play, making something that can elevate their spirit and say, I can do better, I can be the better version of myself. Thank OT. I think we had a bad season, but we can go with something to the next season, OT.
No, thank you so much. Thank you so much, champ. Guys, we're gonna move into Mamelodi Sundowns. I can hear the fans. Okay, this is all I want to say. Hey, I think we need to be realistic at Kaizer Chiefs. We need to be realistic. And we need to be realistic in different ways. Let's talk about the style of play. Implementing a new style of play is not going to happen overnight. Wanting to play champagne football is not going to happen overnight. Wanting to play champagne football and make that winning football is not going to happen overnight. Jumping from number 9 to number 3 or number 2 is not going to happen overnight, right? Let's be realistic. All of these players that we're talking about, that there are these magic players that we're looking for, nobody is going to go and sign 10 players. We've already signed 8. And realistically, those are 8 contracts. For example, I'm just using the 8 from this season. I'm not even talking about other guys. So bringing more players on board on top of these guys, personally, again, I don't think it's realistic, right? You have to start getting realistic. When you talk about fans, guys, take it from somebody who posts videos for a living. If I want everybody to come in and say nice things, shame, I'm mistaken. Part of being realistic is also going, this is what it is. Chiefs fans are Chiefs fans. The pressure of Chiefs is the pressure of Chiefs. If you are waiting for fans to all change so that they can be nice to the players and nice to the coach, unrealistic. What do I mean now? Where do we go from here? Guys, just win your games. Coach Nebi was speaking about a beautiful football. He was speaking about all of those things. Just win your games. If it means that today you have to play ugly, play ugly. Win your games. Because winning your games allows you to go higher up, allows you to play in tournaments, allows you to do certain things that maybe you can then go and attract other people. And then when you win your games, again, people might smile again. Chiefs fans might smile. Think about that Nedbank Cup win if we had done similar in the league. Are people as angry? Are people as pressured? Are people as all of those things that we're speaking about? But then the last thing I want to speak on is what Ongama spoke about right now. It is what it is. Maybe you should be sitting down and saying, in the environment of Kaizer Chiefs, when you arrive, we already know that you're going to be under so much pressure. We already know that your notifications are going to be crazy. We know that if you lose the game, we know those things. Now it has to be up to the organization to say, how do we get these players ready? How do we, Tina, when you go work somewhere, you know this, everybody who works, there's an orientation day. Hey guys, this is what you look out for. This is what you call when this happens. This is what happens here. This is what happens here, right? This is how we mitigate this thing. So if there's something wrong here, you call here, you do this, you do this, you do this. You have to start looking into those things to get these players ready and say, guys, whether you like it or not, this is going to happen. So at least be mentally ready. If it means getting psychologists in, cool, get them in. If it means banning social media, ban social media. If it, You have to start being proactive because that situation is not going to change. It's not going to change. So now you have to make sure that either you're going to go find players that are mentally ready for this thing, or you're teaching them and you're getting them ready internally, or you're making sure that they're shielded internally. But hi guys, all of these things are Mina. The last thing I'm going to say, I think I'm tired of always looking outside. I'm tired of always looking, hey, there's a star player who's in Brazil who are going to go fetch and sign, and there's one in Cameroon, and there's another one at Diepkloof, and there's another one at Davidton, and there's another one at Cape Town, there's another one in the heart of Joe. There's no magic players. Just come in and do your job. Nabi, if you know that Mart is a very good 8, he's not a 6, play him as an 8. Do the job. If this guy is not scoring, keep it, bring him some, do a good job. If you see that, you know, Cross looks great now that he's got support, Solomon's is dying because Ngale, there's no support, do your job. Just fix the problems that you have. You know, I watched the game yesterday where Morris was taken off. And then we started crossing the ball to Dupreez. And I'm like, Mara guys, what Dupreez is just like we said about Umfundo getting high balls, what is Dupreez going to do with a cross? But then the whole time you had somebody who played at Supersport, who used to header, even scored a header versus us, Morris. You have not played one ball to him, but you're asking him to drop back. Obviously, these guys are going to look so bad. So anyway, let's be realistic. We're going to go into the Sundowns versus Pyramids game, Champions League, first leg that happened at Loftus this past Saturday. Of course, they drew 1-1 with Pyramids. 10 shots, 2 on target from Mamelodi Sundowns, 11 shots, 3 on target from Pyramids. Sundowns at 60% of the possession, Pyramids at 40%. Pyramids completed 265 passes versus the 401 completed by Sundowns. Sundowns had one big chance and missed it. Well, one big chance and took it. And then, of course, Pyramids had 2 big chances and missed one of them. So Ribeiro scored in the 54th minute, and then El Karti scored in 90 plus 4, which means that Pyramids will take the advantage into the game they're going to play in Cairo. Coach Picasso, welcome back.
OT.
1-1, Sundowns versus Pyramids. What did you feel about the game?
I think for me, before can
yeah.
As much as I don't support any team in the country, and that's just a personal choice.
Yeah.
Simply because of my profession, but I don't think Sundowns is respected enough in the country. And my reasons for that is, and I don't think they're even acknowledged. You can't play Kaizer Chiefs, Polokwane City, go SABC 1. That's a prime channel.
That's true.
And then play Pirates, Le Amazulu, which is basically a dead rubber match, go SuperSport 4. And then play Sundowns in the biggest game on the continent, go SABC 3. And then played on SS9. I think I know the fan base of Sundowns, no, we don't care, whatnot. But I don't think they are doing justice to growing our game. But, well, it's fine. But in regards to the game, I think Coach Cardoso got it absolutely wrong. The fact that he made a sub, got 36 minutes, said a lot. The starting 11, I don't think... I mean, as a coach, I would have thought Pyramids are a great transition team. You know, they're very good on the counter.
Yeah.
So what you're going to look to do is make sure that you keep the ball, you know, and keep it as far away from your goal as possible. You know, so that instead of break attacks, they can initiate counter attacks. And somebody might ask, what is the difference between a break attack and a counter attack? A break attack is obviously if they win possession closer to your goal, that's a break attack. Counter attack is furthest to your goal, you know. So I think they needed to start with 3 midfielders instead of 2. Sales is not a midfielder, you know. I think he's a forward. He might not be a number 9, but so Ribeiro is also not a midfielder, you know. So I think from the start they got it wrong. He tried to fix it, but when he fixed it, my argument still was, I think Matthews was the one player that there was a moment whereby he drove with the ball from their own half. He was the one player that was looking to get the ball and try and penetrate. So Salas did very well defensively, you know, but offensively he barely gave them anything because he lost a lot of balls. Yes, he's been performing well in the past few games, but against, I mean, cheaper, Champions League is a different level, and we all know, you know. So I think the Sundowns coach got it wrong, and as that, I think he should own up to it and try and fix it in the second leg.
I wanna go into the mind of a coach. You're playing this big game. Why is it that our South African teams tend to want to try new things at this stage of the Champions League specifically, and South African-based coaches want to try new things when they get to this stage? What causes them to experiment? You know, Mayema coming in. At some point, it looked like he was playing a sort of I'd like to call it a 3-2-4-1 or something like that. Now, Reina's the central. What is it that makes coaches want to now experiment?
I don't think it's a matter of a South African thing, you know. I think it's all coaches, because even the pyramid team, on their left-hand side, they had a double fullback.
Yeah.
You know. So it was that, you know, because they knew that they need to kind of stop Ribeiro in some way or the other, you know. So coaches will always try and do things, you know, something new, and adjust according to the demands of the game that's in hand. But I think games like these, you should look to do less changes, because games like these are won by whichever team wants it the most. It's yes, tactically you need to be astute, you know, you need to be on the ball, but it's more mental than it's more kai batla character. As the game it's about a lot of coaching. So I think we do get it wrong as coaches in that regard.
For time, I'm going to jump in. Let me bring in Agent. Agent, my brother, welcome to the show, man.
OT afternoon or evening.
Yeah, but I was going to say, have you... Anyway, Agent, welcome. How are you doing?
No, you know, when you're fighting the mafia, you must be stealth. But I had to come in and bring holy war. I had to come in and bring holy war today. Hence, I'm not...
No shalom today.
No, I'm bringing you to bring holy war.
How did you feel about this game?
I want to start by saying Coach Cardoso got the tactics 110% correct. All of them.
Yeah.
There's no tactic that you got wrong. I think you must have read my Substack where I predicted the lineup. It's exactly as I thought it would be. For a very simple reason. That team is dangerous on crosses, right? So if you look at the player that wins most headers besides defenders and Jayden is Sales. The most informed player right now in terms of going forward, it's Sales. It makes sense to include him. It also makes sense to include Matthews to provide width, and you want to pin Muhammad Chibi. Right? But just because you come up with a tactic, the tactic might be right, but remember, you're not playing alone. Another person has something for you. So just because someone counteracts what you're coming with and you have to change the tactic doesn't mean the tactic was wrong. No, the tactic was right. Just that someone came with a better plan that you have to counteract.
Yeah.
You know? So he had to counteract, because in the midfield we're being dominated, you know, by Traore, Al-Qaid, and the other one, I'm forgetting his name, right? Now, he sorted that issue out.
Okay.
And then in the second half, something interesting happens. They overload Motaung's side, which is a weird thing. Like, Motaung is the best left back, you know.
Right back.
Right back, sorry. Why are you overloading his side?
Yeah.
For a simple reason, you want to shift the entire team that side and isolate Modiba.
Yeah.
If you're at the stadium, you saw there was a player, number 15, Mohamed Chibi, always isolated, always alone, you know? And then the coach has to react, right? And at the time, you are 1-0 up. You want the second goal, but you also want to defend, right? And the argument people make, and rightly, maybe wrongly so, but either way, it's neither here or there, is you bring Uzwana to control the tempo of the game and defend with the ball. But for how long can you defend with the ball? Because you're going to lose the ball at some point, and the team is throwing kitchen sink. And when defending with Uzwani, you are playing with 9 men on the field because he doesn't have the legs, he doesn't have the defensive capabilities.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to bring in Umayema. Umayema can offer you the energy to defend and attack and give you the passes and also to shoot. So it makes sense, right? But the problem is number 15. You want to deal with number 15, someone who can help Modiba, that side. So if you bring in Uzwani going to attack and mark the number 15.
No, that's the Mbobo usually.
You get, you know, so you bring in, exactly, you bring the Mbobo to come and do the dirty work which has been done by sales, right? So it makes sense to then go and bring in Umayema, but Umayema doesn't deliver, doesn't do the job. So what
but then agent, can I just quickly there?
Yeah.
Are we shocked? Like I feel like everybody I hear is complaining about sales. But I asked the question, is Mayema similar to Mkulise in that there's a player we know in our mind, and that player now was brought in, and people have these high expectations that don't make sense. Like I saw Mayema and I was like, I don't know if this is, I don't know how this is going to work.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like sometimes we value the history than the current player, but I don't want to go there. But I want to talk about Mohamed Chibi because I'm interested in Mohamed Chibi, number 15. You know, what he does is, Coach Cardoso, remember, Kuto says it's a game of questions and answers.
Yeah.
Coach Cardoso is failing to answer the Mohamed Chibi question. Number 15, number 20 on the exam paper, you know. So he brings in Umar Trap. Morena, go to the right-hand side, make it a back five, you know, so that Mudiba can deal with this man. But still, these guys are overruling the side, and still Mudiba and Mayema still fail to deal with Mohamed Chibi.
Yeah.
What happens is within the same game, Morena goes to the left-hand side. That's when they deal with Mohamed Chibi. Once they deal with him, he goes back that side. It is very ironic that it comes from that side. The goal comes from that side.
Okay.
You know. So hence I say, you look at all the tactics, you look at all the substitutions that he made, they were 110% right. Whether they work or not is neither here or there. But I wanted to say, I'm going to steal 30 seconds from ASAP's time.
Very quickly.
Personally speaking, people talk about Tempazwane as if he's the Messiah. I've never seen him winning as the CAF Champions League. He played 5 minutes in the CAF Champions League final. In his prime 9 years, where did he come and cool down the tempo of the game and do all those things they expected him to do? What happened to the Mvala goal? That says it's a Mvala mistake. So it was Grant's mistake also because he missed the ball. So I've never understood this hyperbole that if Zwane comes in that game. He has never shown us in 9 years time that if he comes in, don't lose games, CAF Champions League games.
Yeah, I want to piggyback on that point, just to steal some time as well. Okay. I think my issue is some of these things are basic, agent, man. The moment you see Mudiba, you know if you're playing versus the Pyramids team that plays wide, they're going to target him. However they do it, they're going to target him. Mayema comes into the pitch playing with Sales on top of Ribeiro and everybody else. And I'm like, but wait, guys, I've never seen this before. But what I can tell you is that Fiston Mayela loves transitioning. So you're going to put Libusa into a very tough spot, honestly speaking, right? Yeah. So when I looked at the starting lineup and I saw the game, because I saw it after, I was thinking to myself, hi man, guys, but Inalibu Rulani, man. The mistakes that Rulani used to make at this. No, but get what I'm saying. Cardoso, for me, was brought in to be, and I'm not saying he got things wrong or whatever, but he was brought in to be cooler and calmer. And I feel like he fell into the trap of trying to invent an answer. And obviously, it's a goal. One goal changes everything. It could be a genius plan if it's not for 90 plus 4, but Sundowns did the same thing to Ahly. You get what I mean? Yes. And I'm like, I can't blame him for that, but also I'm like, you look at the team and you go, Mara, coach,
but how
I
do you
get
deal
you.
with number 15? I would love to know how you'd have dealt with number 15. Remember, Lunga is injured. How you deal with him, knowing that you need a second goal and also you need to defend.
Kana, who's available in your defense?
Mvala was there. Yeah, I think Mvala was the only defensive one. I can check for you quickly, but I think it was Mvala.
Okay. No, for time, no, I would have maybe put Mvala then push Libusa out, but obviously
But
that's
you know
up
Mvala
to.
in big games. But you know Mvala in big games.
I
but
still
what I
take
also
it.
wanted to say, what I wanted to say was also, sometimes we think that Sundowns is the biggest what. You know, there is the owner of Pyramids is an oil oil what. You know,
Yeah.
this team has spent over 2 billion in the last 10 years. You know, the highest player there is 172 million. Second 120, 115, 105. Our highest is 64 by sales. Thank you.
Time. Okay, let me do this. I'm gonna give everybody their time still. We may go over, but that's okay. Let me go to Ray. Ray, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hi, Mr. OT.
Ray, 1-1, man. 1-1, Loftas. Tell me about this game.
I Mr. OT, I don't know why I'm here in this panel, but
Yeah, man.
for me, let me talk about Sundowns. Today I'll be the analyst instead of Kaizer Chiefs fan. Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
But but I did watch the game. Yeah. For me, I could tell what him Miguel Cardoso, I could tell what he was trying to do, yeah, bro. Because hey, Premier League first half, I could tell, yo, this team is dangerous. This team, I thought that they're going to score 2 goals or 3 goals, but special shout out to defensive Sundowns, they were disciplined first half. Second half, they looked a little bit shaky, but when I look at the 5 games that they play in the Betway League matches, the teams that they were playing against, I feel like they haven't tested Sundowns.
Okay.
You know, let's be honest, Mr. OT. They haven't tested mamelodi Sundowns because Sundowns were not tested, because I could tell against Richards Bay, I could tell 0 shot on target, 1 shot on target, 0-0. You could tell this team haven't been tested. I could tell going to this game, they will feel the pressure, And I don't know, what people Mikel Cardoso, what he was trying to do by taking out to Matthews. Matthews, I feel like he was he's the player that you need, to put pressure on the defense, because I saw recent matches that Matthews can dribble players, I feel like he shouldn't take him out in the first half. And second half, I could tell Uti when he took us Lucas Ribeiro, he was playing a low block. He was playing 1-4-5. I could tell Uti right now. I don't know what he was trying to do, because I feel like Isaac does they needed a second goal, But for me now, I feel like this is a lesson, People are saying Temazwane this, but Temazwane, what was he going to do? Because also this game, it will give him it will put pressure on him, because right now he needs to control everything. But Temazwane, sometimes in the recent games he doesn't show up, And
but I want to ask, is it again? I want to run a parallel here, but when we speak about these two teams, we speak about Pirates and Sundowns, when we spoke about Pirates versus Pyramids, people are saying, we need to play our football, we need to come back to our football, we need to go pound for pound, we need to dribble, we need to do all of those things, even though Pirates have been playing a certain way up to that point. Do you think the Sundowns must be Zabo Zwane, be all of these guys? Is it just fans wanting to go back to an old Sundowns way of play. Smugela Motemba's one is my hero. But the truth is that he hasn't been playing. He's been injured. You know, there have been other people that have stepped up.
Yeah, Mr. Oti, you're right. But I feel like first, like they wanted to go back to that Sundowns from Rulani. I could tell they wanted that Sundowns. But Miguel, he knows like Premier Meets, yeah, but he was playing the low block because once you go pan to pan with the Premier Meets like second half.
Yeah.
Like those guys they will score like 2 or 3 goals, yeah, but because I saw like Pirates they were doing that also, yeah, but like in semi-final, like you look where they are, like they lost that game, yeah, but because they're going pan to pan, yeah, but so let's attack them. If they attack us, let's also attack them, yeah, but it's not like that. The CAF Champions League is a competitive tournament, yeah, but and like Utamazane, I feel like he was not going to do anything, yeah, but for me now. Like I feel like coach, like I'm not sure if he's going to put him in the starting lineup according to it's under pressure because of fans, yeah, but I feel like he must put him on the bench. Then second half he must put him on, yeah, so that he can control the game if they are winning, yeah,
For time, I'm gonna jump in. I want to bring in Pugsin.
Sure, good.
Pugsin, 1-1. Sundowns Pyramids. What is one king?
No, ke nyako e thoma ka a positive note wena butiaka ne.
Yeah.
Lucas Ribeiro. Monno la tla nthabisha hle bana. Wa bona goal ela budi ne. Ke a kwagala.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goal ela la mafelo ke thabisha ke goal. It was that day Real Kwale Chiefs re tlo equalize ka last minute do gopola. I think it was MTN 8. Yeah. And then o mongwe ke tlo mmitjang ke Modau ka mka re mone Modau performed very well until the last minute, right?
Yeah.
Mudiba damane what's like bona Mudiba be ke tshogile wena mfethu. I was scared, but then I was like, Mudiba man. But then he did not disappoint. That's why I give me check okay, what's up, Mudiba? You did not disappoint me. Go for my blama. And then on another note, Sundowns fans, I need people to relax. One sorry. But Kamaga just need to relax. This was not a bad performance. I would say it was not the worst performance, and it was certainly not the worst result. So people need to relax. I don't want to the points the points and then Miguel Cardoso. This guy is one guy that I trust. I wanna get the tactics I believe or everything I dealing it was okay. But then I wanna condemn him.
Okay.
This is a cup final. I get. This is our last home game. Imagine orna kankebe mushishi atsene kana kwela ya mayema, because if it was according to me sanjo batsene kana kwela ya mayema na kana or defensive di tlo diang ene reaction ya defend be tlo diang go di player ngushisha. So that's that. Go taba mushishi is just that ke ntwela gore if ever we lose this tie, like the whole tie, not putting in Mushishika our home game, it might haunt him. Cardoso. It might haunt him or even like it's defend feeling ya level Mushishi on our final game. Ya go home once. And then Putishe Loren Kinyaka we ya raba lego ka sim Putish. Or na stars on like reasitiana. Star o walo sona kaswele le moreba. Stars ke sa rena se ibile ke robare. Yeah. Ba le di kurate ke nna ke re stars ke sa rena se. Ke a leboga.
Okay, no, Pagzen. I wanted to ask you, but for time, I'm gonna go to Shembe.
Habibi.
Oh, Habibi. You come to South Africa and you do that, Habibi.
What is the panic about, Habibi? Why are they panicking? Talk, 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 talk. What is this panicking? Talk, talk about, Habibi? Mshishi this, Habibi. No, Mahema Kadoso this, Pitori. What is this panic? Talk, 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 Habibi. They must just smoke the shisha, eh? Smoke the shisha pipe and relax, eh? Smoke the patchy, eh? You must roll the patchy and relax, my brother. Yeah, my opinion, come on, don't see you. It's a draw, dog. It's a draw, dog.
Yeah.
Why are they panicking like this? Have we lost already? Did I miss the goal, OT? Did I miss something? Yo.
Yeah.
I will say, Mr. OT, this goes to show like how desperate Mamelodi Sundowns fans want this because yo, they're so scared, man. They are so scared. yo, Machitatsugile, Mr. OT.
Yeah.
Look, Mr. OT, I will say this. Let me start by saying, we won. HN started the Substack, Mr. OT. I'm helping with the Substack.
I know, he sent me it,
Yeah, we're helping. Yeah, we're doing the Substack, Mr. OT.
Send me the link. I'm going to put it up. Yeah.
Thank you. Please tell this guy to promote. He's busy being too cool for the streets, yeah. It's the coolness I spy for to promote. You can't be cool when you have to promote things. Anyway, I will say this, Mr. OT. As much as I love Themba Mshishizwana, I love him with all my heart for what he's contributed to South African football. But I think I'm starting to understand why Flemingberg wants this man out of the club. I'm starting to understand why Flemingberg wants Mshishi at Sundowns.
Yeah.
It's Ash is too heavy for any coach to come in and try to make any sort of changes, Mr. OT. The pressure and the nostalgia that Mamelodi Sundowns fans have for Themba Mshishi will always override whatever we're trying to achieve going forward.
Yeah.
You can see that Mamelodi Sundowns is trying to build a future for themselves where they don't rely on Mshishi anymore. And the fans are saying, no, let's go back. And Flemingberg is saying, no, we need to move forward because this man is aging, unfortunately. That's the unfortunate part. And it's the nostalgia is weighing too heavy and it's going to override any ability to try to bring change that any coach will try to do. Just look at the response that you're getting, Jay, from game. Itro, Mr. Otsi. Itro final. We're not playing cheaper here. We're not playing Makesi. We're playing the pyramids. You can't go toe to toe with these guys, Mr. Otsi. You need to play smarter in CAF, Mr. Otsi.
You know what shocks me about the Themba Zwane conversation?
Yeah.
What shocks me is this. How many times have South Africans called for Themba Zwane this year? And he was injured. He was out. Which means that there were people carrying this team, right, throughout that time. And we're not calling on them. It feels weird, man. It feels like if you were saying, I wish Jaden Adams was in, I understand. You know what I mean? But then it's almost like we, now Neo Mayema, and I'm not saying he's a bad player, but now he's the hero character. And I'm like, Mara, I don't get it.
Yeah, the problem is he now becomes larger than the program. And no one is allowed to be bigger than the program because if you allow the yo, bro, I talk like this all the time, brother. Deal with it, but the problem is if you allow any hero to become larger than the program, when the hero dies, what happens to the program?
Yeah.
What happens to the program, Mr. Oti? What happens to the program, but so we need to make sure that Mamelodi Sundowns has a future outside of Themba Mshishi's one and Mr. Oti.
Yo, we just need to come in and ground it and see what we can do,
right?
We
need to ground it, but you know what I'm saying? But you need to push, eh? You need to buck up, brother. Look, Mr. Oti, we got to the final without Mshishi, Mr. Oti. And it hurts. It hurts for people to accept that. We got to the final without Themba Mshishi. And I do believe that we can still win this game, Mr. Oti. It's just how much it needs to relax, Mr. Oti. Pyramids is a good team, Mr. Oti. And you saw that they were stopping us from playing game. They were forcing us to play long balls, Mr. Oti. You know. And I think that Amachita needs to relax and trust our coach, Mr. Otsi, and trust the boys. These boys have played their school fees, Mr. Otsi. Shilo would say Amachita, man, the coming up to this game, it was about paying his school fees, and the team has paid his school fees. And I do think that we can take Pyramids in Egypt. First of all, Pyramids doesn't even have an aura when they're playing at home because they don't have
fans.
So yini into enithusayo mina odlala eCairo kuyafana ukuthi siyodlala ePrincess Makoko Stadium, Mr. Otsi. Sekhaya lapha, Mr. Otsi. So we're coming back with this, we're winning this, Mr. Otsi. Amachita relax, I will panic, man. Twerk wena.
Thank you, Sam. Okay. Guys, question for the comments before I go to the next panel. What is it about us as South Africans that, man, even when we see something that's working, we call for other things? And it's not to say that Tembazwane is a bad player, but the situation, what's the situation? He played 20 minutes versus Ahly. Now you want him to start. You know, it's the same question I have Mayema. I'm not saying Mayema's a bad player, but then Mayema hasn't played all the way up to here. But then now, why must he start? And people are saying, no, he's magic. I get it. But isn't that what kills us in the Champions League? That we get into this point of the Champions League and we're calling for things that we have not seen this season. And we're taking away all of the good work. I want to see Adams play some of this game. I think Adams and Allende may have a better balance than Adams and Mayema, or than Allende and Mayema, for example, if we want the midfield. And I know Adams dipped a little bit. I know that he wasn't trusted, but part of the reason why you're here is on the back of some of those players. Usalesh, I don't know why Salesh is coming under so much fire. I don't understand it. Because even when you look at the league, look at how he performed in the league. When you look at the stats and how they join and how they do all of those things. So, guys, I just want to know, what is it that makes us pine for these old footballers, old football? And not to say that they're bad, but we overlook the good that has been done in the season just to satisfy ourselves. Anyway, let me go to Litabo. Litabo, welcome. How are you?
Uti, thanks for the opportunity. I said to you last week that there's nothing special about Cardoso.
Yeah.
There's nothing that he has done that has not been done before. Has not improved the team playing what. He's done one main thing, and that is to get us to the Champions League, and that's why he's here.
Yeah.
He's not here for playing style. I told you that he came when the pot was simmering.
Okay.
And he had to finish it off. Right? His job was to finish it off. That's it. And he hasn't done that so far. He's the first hurdle. He's faulted at the first hurdle.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he can overcome the second hurdle. But okay, let's go into the game. We start with a system which you've never played in the Champions League. You haven't. Esperance, you played with 3 in the middle. You scored 1 goal. 1 goal. And you had 2 shots on target. You went away. You played with 3 again. Salas didn't start again. Champions League. Salas didn't start. What happens? I think you have 3 shots on target.
Okay.
Ahly at home, you play with 3.
Yeah.
In the middle, you have 0 shots on target. Salas doesn't start, comes on second half. You go to Ahly away. We don't create anything really. Nothing really. 2 shots on target. You're under pressure, you're 1-0 down. And I always say history must defines where we're going. Nah? And then where are we going? What does Cardoso do? First time at Sundowns, you are under real pressure. You are 1-0 down, right? You led against against Esperance, and you only had to defend away. Let's be honest, you had to defend.
Okay.
Right? But now you're here against Ahly, you're 1-0 down, you have to attack, you want a goal. Who's your first substitute? Who was the first substitute against Ahly?
65th minute, who was the first substitute? Man, wasn't it Sales? I can't remember.
Numbers one.
Numbers one, okay.
So now, for some other reason, today you bring in MIM to start. I mean, like, to end the game for us. He must somehow defend the game for us. Something I don't understand. You are under pressure from the wings. When you're under pressure from the wings, normally you would double up, right? You'd go, and because we have the players, you would go Morena and bring in Divine Lunga. People say Divine hadn't played, he was injured, but if you're on the bench, it means you're fit enough to play. You wouldn't be on the bench if you're not fit enough to play. So he makes a mistake with the substitutions.
Okay.
He makes a mistake with the starting 11. Right? The whole season you have not played Neomayem. He has one good game in the number 8 role against Magesi and a good game for Chen team. If you bring him in, people say you're bringing him in for legs. What do you mean? Because you haven't played him. Right? So you should have brought in Divine Lunga and shifted Mudiba to play as ahead of Divine, because Divine had an exceptional game against Esperance at home, away. When we were playing away. Possibly the man of the match that game. And all of us said, wow, what a performance. And now people are saying he's injured. If you're on the bench, you're good enough to play. Right?
I want to ask you for the last 30. I just want to ask you for the 30 seconds here, just for time. What do you think informs that? What do you think informs? Because there's some maybe changes you are asking from Rulani at this stage and it wasn't working out. Rivero goes and changes maybe the way Pirates are going to approach the game versus Pyramids in their game when they get knocked out. Now you see Coach Cardoso coming in and changing things, not so radically in this game, playing versus Pyramids. What informs that in your idea, in your thinking?
I don't know, OT. I don't know. But what I do know is he's here for that moment. For that last 5 minutes is why Cardoso is here, when we're leading 1-0 up. And grant the signaling to the bench to say, please, let's close this thing. Grant signals. If you're at the stadium, you saw grant signaling to the bench, say, please, let's close this. And you don't close it off. You've got Toby Val on the bench. You've got the players who can close this thing off. And you don't go full defensive mode. And that for me was disappointing. And when I look, and sorry, just to steal a couple of seconds, when I look at people tell me about Matthews and Sales and where did they score in the Champions League? Because Matthews missed the one-on-one at Ahly. He hasn't scored. Sales hasn't scored. So when you say he's done it, what do you mean? When have they done it in the Champions League? They haven't. Who scored? Peter scored.
Yeah.
Sundowns only scored 6 goals. And they only scored 3 in the knockout stages. So why do we think we're going to score more than 1 goal away?
For time. I wanna jump in. Let me bring in Umsiana. Umsiana, welcome to the show. How are you?
Yeah, fantastic, OT. How's it?
Man. I'm just watching you guys. My season is over. Tell me, how do you feel about this game? Fan of football.
Oh, champ.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, I totally agree with Agent. There was nothing wrong. There was nothing wrong there with Cardoso's starting lineup.
Yep.
But skeptical about the changes though. But I think this shows you that the level of CAF Champions League and the PSL aren't the same. Just because you're winning games in the PSL doesn't mean you're gonna dominate Africa.
Yeah.
They totally aren't the same, OT. So you got Pyramids. I'm basically a bit of a fan of Pyramids. I love how they play. I love how they transition the ball and they score goals. Pyramids, you can score 2 goals. Pyramids will come in the second half and then score 4 goals just instantly, just like that. So Pyramids is a very dangerous team. Is a very dangerous team, and Usales, my player of the season. Just imagine if ever Sales came on the start of the season, where would Sales be in terms of goals and assists? Sales just came in January. He has scored 9 goals, 8 assists. So for me, starting Salas it's totally not a bad thing. So Salas deserves to start that match. All the players there on the starting lineup deserve to start that match. Firstly, in the first half, Pyramids took the ball way too quicker from Mamelodi Sundowns. Way too quicker. There were sloppy passes there. And then that causes the danger. And what I love about Pyramids will let you play the ball and think you dominate the game just because you're playing possession football. You have all the possession and you're dominating everything. But in fact, they make you think you're in charge, and then they take a sloppy pass and then cross it into the box, and then it's a goal. So Pyramids, that's why Pyramids are such a dangerous side. And also Mamelodi Sundowns just like take a real look at it. Mamelodi Sundowns, since from the quarterfinals, haven't been pretty like you call them like a good side. They haven't been a good side from the quarterfinals, the semifinals. They haven't done well. They never done well at all. Some people say, who God, une Sundowns. Okay, Otitek.
No. I wanted to ask you. You know, when you're describing Pyramids, it feels like it's a team that also can will itself. How much of that is going to play into this? That Pyramids seems like they don't give up, man. It seems like they giving everything this last shot, and maybe Mamelodi Sundowns is tacticking a little bit too much. Where does it fall between tactics and this will? Because maybe that's been Sundowns' downfall in the Champions League. If you get what I'm saying.
I couldn't. No, I couldn't get you. Can you please repeat the question, please?
No, I'm asking you. It seems like Pyramids doesn't care too much about the tactics of it. It seems like they're just a fighting team. Do you think that Sundowns should be scared of them being a fighting team like that? And maybe they're trying to be too smart.
Yeah. OT, you've said it. I think in the Chiefs panel that Orlando Pirates are the most dangerous team on the PSL, and Pyramids are the most dangerous team in Africa. I've been watching these guys. These guys are so good. Especially when they win the ball.
Yeah.
They win the ball. They score goals. They don't care. They don't care about the tactics. Unlike your typical North African teams, whereby they'll make sure they're tactically good, defensively good. They keep their shape.
Yeah.
Pyramids doesn't do that. Defending, Pyramids are not good defending. They concede a lot of goals, but mostly what they do, they score a lot of goals. That's why they are so. That's why I said you can score 2 goals against Pyramids in the first half. Pyramids will come back in the second half and score 5 goals against you.
Okay.
So that's what makes them a very dangerous team. And I was rooting. I was actually rooting for a Sundowns. Now it's not make sure.
Okay. For time, I'm gonna jump in. Let me bring in King 98. King 98, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, OT, and thank all the members that have been on the panel since I joined from that Polokwane Chiefs match until now. And
No.
Comment secondly, my brother.
No. Welcome, brother. Tell me, 1-1 Sundowns Pyramids. How do you feel about this game?
Well, it's unfortunate for Sundowns that they had to consider the last minute, which might seem as if it's a disadvantage to them when they're going to a second leg. But what I know about Sundowns, especially like the likes of Mokwena, Williams, they've been in finals, guys. Not only with club level, they've represented Bafana, and they know it's still a 50-50 chance. As coach, the first guy whom he brought on this panel, he said to him, it's more of a mentality than which team has advantage. So, and knowing Sundowns and with their coaches, for example, we know Steve Compella to be one of those guys that tries to tell Abantu with guys, this is not over. You can't give up me after time, born.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I still believe they have what it takes to bring the star back to SA, Mamelodi Sundowns. Yeah. So
What will it take? How should Sundowns approach the second leg? What should they do different, if at all they need to do anything different?
Well, I'll vouch with these other fans that are saying Divine Lunga needs to start that game in terms of their defense.
Yeah.
I think that's the only change that I might go with. In terms of their midfield and forward, I wouldn't say the coach must change his starting lineup that he started with this past Saturday. However, as the game progresses, you need to bring in substitutes, fresh legs, and so on and so forth. So, from my point of view, that's the only position that I might be saying if Coach Cardoso can change there only.
And then when you look at Pyramids, should Pyramids defend, knowing that they've got the 1-goal lead? Should they play the exact same way? If you're a Pyramids fan.
If I'm being honest with you, my brother, I've started like trying to, trying to be and being helped by fellow soccer fans to understand what if we are playing MC Alger, we need to watch their past 5 matches and so on and so forth. Pyramids is not a club that can just defend and be like, want to win with 1 goal.
Yeah.
If we are someone who has been trying to follow their previous matches, both in Champions League as well as in their league, they're in Egypt. They can win 4-2, 4-3. They will score, but they also concede. You understand? So I wouldn't give it as a good suggestion that you can go to Pyramids thinking they will defend that 1 goal that they scored here.
Yeah.
And it's my opinion again. I'm not saying that is what's going to happen in Cairo, but knowing Zamalek fans and Ahly fans, there's a possibility that the atmosphere might be different, unlike how we're expecting it. You might find that the stadium might also have 80% or 70% being filled, wherever it is. So the way Ngazi Pyramids in a corner from these few matches that I've seen, they wouldn't just sit back and defend 1 goal. They will try their best to bring all their forces and to win the game within the period of 90 minutes. Because why? They know Williams is good with penalties. So any mistake that might lead them going to penalty shootout, penalty shootout is anyone's game, my brother. Understand?
Okay. Yeah.
As a Pakania, I wish all the best to his Sundowns, and I hope they bring it home.
What la jigela? Hey, the moment but anyway.
One of life, my brother.
What time? Let me bring you to Buchale. Buchale, welcome to the show. How are you?
Re eme, re chige, re tshwarana ka matso.
Re jalo. Tate
Motsepe. Yo, Oti. What a good day to be a champion, Oti. What a wonderful day to be a champion. And obviously, it's the daily tradition. Chiefs is your Nedbank Cup Champions, Oti.
Yeah.
We are champions, Oti. For the next year, I am a champion, Oti. What a day. What a year, Oti. Yo, petrol prices are going down. Interest rates are down. Everything is just down. The economy is going, phew. The economy is flying, Oti. Oh, Gosia. Let me give Mamelodi Sundowns fans their flowers, Oti. I haven't been to the stadium in a long time, Oti. I haven't been to the stadium in a long time. I decided to go on Saturday, and I was expecting it to be underwhelming because you know what they say about Sundowns fans. When Ribeiro scored that first goal, the stadium literally shook. OT, it was an earthquake. Were you there?
No. I was in Joburg.
Okay.
I was at another stadium.
The stadium shook. OT, I felt an earthquake. I thought the earth was shaking. OT, and obviously me, because I never wait you. I don't want to get beat. I don't want to leave the stadium got blue eye. When they scored inside, I was so hurt. Mara, I was celebrating with Sundowns, and you know what's the funny thing, OT? I was putting up the Chiefs sign, the peace sign. The person behind me, the person behind me, ongitshwara ka letsogo gore monna ke Sundowns mo. Phakamiso 7.
Why are you playing around when you're busy putting up signs, Chief? When in Rome.
But also, let me get into the game. What lang better? You can even see my Sundowns agent, agent, agent. Sure. OT, I don't think Miguel Cardoso came into this game and gave I don't think he used Tesh and Sales correctly because Sales was playing with his back towards the opposition goal most of the game. And I feel like because Tesh was coming up against a very physical player, that number 15 is an absolute tank, OT. That guy is not supposed to be playing football. He's supposed to be go rugby, helping Egypt or something. I haven't even seen Egypt go rugby. He should be helping them, scoring tries there, being the scrum half or Ox, whatever Ox. He should be in the middle there at the tray, OT. Not playing as a fullback. That guy is huge, OT. He's huge. And that that suggests that he's a slow player, and obviously we know Touch is very quick, so they didn't really play to that matchup really, because I feel like they should have drifted into that zone, or rather isolate Cash and play balls in behind. Why? Because it's very easy to get for a winger to get to a ball when he knows that he's faster than his fullback, than the fullback that he's up against. So I feel like they should have, pushed Usales more to touch his flank, right? And so that he can play in that half space, so that, whenever he receives the ball, it's a 10 and, he sends Utesh on his bike. So I feel like there's a bit of a misprofile going on with Artur Saleh. He's not a bad player. Artur Saleh is not a bad.
He's a very good player.
Yeah, I agree. He's misprofiled, OT. We can't be playing him as a box striker. He's not a box striker, OT. He's more of he's a linking striker. He likes to link up the play, OT. You can even see these nice touches. OT. You can even see chest passes. Not Kalito. Let me, yeah. So, but like you can see what there's a player there, and I don't think Miguel Cardoso is using him to his strengths. I was looking at that game, and I'm asking myself, why is Saleh playing so far from Tesh? OT, who's gonna feed? Who was feeding Tesh? OT, who was feeding Tesh? Tesh was completely isolated. Tesh could have done a lot of damage, OT. A lot of damage. If the ball was played in behind to him, he could have done a lot of. He could have killed that number 15, OT. And I also like that they played the game. There wasn't too many long balls. There wasn't too many crosses, because they know obviously Pyramids are North Africans. They are more physical than physical, more stronger than them. So they put the ball on the ground and played football. And they didn't allow. Ask.
No. For time for this last minute, but I wanted to ask you. I like what you spoke about with Artis Salesh. Do you think something similar was happening with Ribeiro? Because I feel as though whenever Ribeiro's on the right wing, we lose him.
Yes. Ribeiro's a 10, Oti. Ribeiro's a 10. He's not, and how can I put this, Oti? I think you have to not as an inverted winger, Oti. Give him the 10 straight. Give him the 10 straight, Oti. Don't say come in as an start on the right, then come in into the 10. Give him the 10 straight so that he has 3 players now to feed, Oti. He has 3 players to feed, not two, not a false nine, not a false 9 and arenas, Oti. He has now 3 players to put inside. So give Ribeiro the 10 straight, Oti. But I think
Just give me a final sentence there.
And also, Ribeiro, great players do this, Oti. Ribeiro didn't have a particularly good game, but Ribeiro, he when he had to take that shot, he came about. Same with Mfukeng. Great players do this. And last one, when Pyramid scored, Oti,
Did you put up the sign? Did you put up the sign?
No, why? Oti. Me, I want to live. I'm still young.
Okay. What time? I want to jump in. Yeah, I know Sundowns almost got into a fight there during my Amatax days, but it's fine. Look, guys, time has caught up to me. So we're probably going to do the Pirates game tomorrow and have our normal catch-up day while we are watching a preseason game. And we'll talk about whatever we talk about. So I will be live tomorrow, 7:30 for Pirates. I believe Pirates is playing tomorrow at 7:30. This is all I'll say about the Sundowns game. Let's be honest. It's not about tactics. It's not about any of that stuff. It's just about who can stay awake for the longest. Who can stay awake for the longest? It's the CAF Champions League, right? What I'm hoping is that Coach Cardoso, unlike previous coaches, can go into a second leg, not shake, and win that game. That is what he needs to do. That is what he has been brought in. I've said a long time ago about Mamelodi Sundowns that it's not about the number of passes you put together. It's not about any of that stuff. It's the Champions League. It's about who can focus for the longest. What has been killing Sundowns, similar to when I speak about Pirates and the league, what's been killing Sundowns in the Champions League is that there's moments where they just seem a little bit off, or they switch off, boom, it's 1-1, then the other team goes and does something different. Now, I will say that if you look at Pyramids, I think the one advantage that they give Sundowns is that I don't think Pyramids knows how to park a bus. So as dangerous as they are going forward, like we said, they concede. They conceded versus Pirates. They conceded now versus Sundowns. And I believe that if Sundowns can manage the game a little bit better towards the end, can starve them of the ball, can do what Sundowns normally does, I think they can win this game. Now, when I saw the starting lineup, I was at the stadium, FNP. I was at FNP. I saw the starting lineup, and I saw a couple of things that I was like, hey, I'm unsure of here. I'm unsure of Mayema starting. I've already spoken about that. I'm unsure of Mudiba starting. I've already spoken about that. I'm unsure of Sales starting with Ribeiro and I believe it was Tesh and Reyners up top. When I saw Reyners running centrally, I didn't know what was going to happen there because Reyners is not a good player centrally. Oh, sorry, Mayema didn't start. Sorry about that. Reyners playing centrally is kind of weird. Whenever I've seen Ribeiro go out to the right-hand side, you kind of lose him for the games. But to be fair, it was 1-0 for a long time. I think for the last 20 minutes, it was 1-0. And Pyramids just so happened to score a goal, got 90+4. So if they don't score that goal, you could say it's a genius move. If they do, you say it's not. Fine margins. The game is not going to come down. The second leg is not going to come down to tactics. I think it's going to come down to who wants it more. And if the one thing you can count on with Pyramids is that they're going to throw everything at Sundowns. They're going to play exactly how they've been playing. They're going to try pressure Sundowns. They're going to do that. The tough thing for Sundowns to do, or the key thing for Sundowns, is not to play into what Pyramids is doing. Agent spoke about number 15. If that guy pushes up, take advantage of the space because you got to make them think. Don't try and defend. I guess that's what Coach Caruso was trying to do when he was playing the 4 and trying to stretch the pitch. Try and make sure that those guys don't push up. Try and make sure that if they're going to try cross the ball, there's somebody there. But we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. The only thing I'm going to ask you guys now at the end of this is I have an interview out on my YouTube channel with Lays. I interviewed Amanda Dlamini. Incredible conversation with an incredible legend. She's been part of SAFA. She's one of the most capped players in Banyana history. She's now an analyst. She also has her own business and things like that. We speak about a lot of deep things within football, and it's really nice to get her view on some of these things. Incredible conversation. So please head on over to YouTube, Overthinking Football Show, and give it a watch. Again, like I always say, if you see anything that's sponsored anywhere, please go watch it. But these are some of the most incredible conversations that we had. I had one with Josta. I had one with Amanda now. It's out now. Please, guys, support. I'm going to try bring more legends on outside of the lay stuff, bring more people on, because those are very important conversations that need to be had about a lot of things. As you know, I'm not asking them about their histories. I'm asking them about pointed questions as to what is happening in the game. So please help me out and support. Follow if you have not followed. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, I am here. But the episodes are available in full on YouTube. So if you came in late and you want to know what we're speaking about, they're available there. It's not just reviews. It's not just previews. It's not just match discussions. We also have big discussions about things that are happening inside our game. So please support. And also, my podcast also comes out. I try to do it every couple of days. So check that out. Support, guys. Help grow. Thank you guys so much for the support you've shown me up to this point. You've put me here. Let's try to take this all the way up to the top. Support Agent. I'm going to put the link to his Substack there. If you want to hear more from Agent and see what his mind comes up with, I still feel like he has the Caruso's phone number somewhere, but it's fine. I'm going to put the link of his Substack into my status. Go and follow, go and read. He breaks down everything in incredible depth. So those of you who enjoy Agent as we do, check out his Substack. His writing. ASAP forced him to write. I also forced him to write. I'll see you guys then. Hey, I see things are busy shaking now. I'll see you guys then tomorrow for the Paris game. Bye everyone. Oh, before I go, before I go, thank you so much to Mapule. Thank you so much to Dikete. Thank you so much to Sibisa, the champion. Thank you to Sipo. Thank you to Vandenom. Thank you to Tabi, Mr. PM, Unati, Wise Path, Desmond, Julie, LH, Litabo, Gary, Michelle. Thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you to those that watched and jumped onto the panels and in the comments. Thank you to those on YouTube. Bye, everyone. Are they playing Wednesday? Okay.